Welcome everyone to Yoga Therapy Sunday. And today we're working with the lower back, this area, this chakra, third chakra, power center. The lower back also includes the hips that we've been working on, as well as the legs and the feet. So this whole area from the belly button down is going to be our focus today. So just bending the knees, feeling the feet. And inhale, straightening the legs, maybe opening the arms to the side. Exhale, if you like, bringing your hands to that power center. You can create this mudra, if you like, around the belly button. It's called Yoni Mudra. Inhale. Opening up, and I like to think of this mudra actually as creating a container for this fire in the belly, like you have a campfire and you contain it in a stove or with rocks around it. Inhale, that fire expands. This fire in yoga is called Agni. Exhale. And tonight in India, the celebrations will be beginning for Deepavali, the celebration of Deepam or light. Diwali, it's said often in English. Exhale. So we're going to have a focus on this fire in the belly today. Inhale, feel that fire getting bigger. If you like, you can visualize that fire expanding at the belly. And exhale, you're containing it. So it doesn't become a wildfire, just very contained in that space. Inhale. And exhale. Let's add some bigger movements of the arms. Inhale, arms coming up at the sides. And exhale down through the center, making a ha sound. Inhale, coming up. Exhale through the center. Adding humming, if you like, to the exhale to ignite that Agni. So this is cleansing, but also is said to ignite the fire, the Agni, using Brahmari or the bee breath. Keep this going your own timing. Your breath can be different than mine. Inhale, arms coming up to your place. Exhale, hands through the center. You can add Om if you like to the exhale. Inhale, if you like, You can visualize the sun shining out of the heart now. Your hands coming through those rays of light all around you. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale. The arms sweeping through those rays of light all around you. Last time, hands ending at the heart. Bring your hands to your heart. Maybe one hand at the heart and the other at the belly, at that belly button. It's a very important center of prana in the Vedic culture, right here at the belly button. This is also the opposite side of it is your lower back, power center. Just connecting these 2 power points, the belly button and the heart. Maybe make an intention to do with your personal power, as well as your heart power. These are also 2 brains physiologically. So for example, may I be loving and strong. May I be loving and strong. There might be something else there for you to do with boundaries. Or being powerful yet not arrogant. All right, when you're ready, release that. We're going to move into our first pose today, warrior. We often do lots of warrior when we're working with the lower back. To strengthen the lower back, we're going to bring the left foot forward and the right foot turned out. So inhale, the arms are going to come up at the front. So this works a bit more with the lower back. And exhale, the arms coming down in front of you. Now you can use just one arm if you want. So the arms moving in front will work more the lower back than the upper back. So just feel the difference. You can try that out actually if you like, arms side versus front, you can feel that difference. So you can work just the opposite arm to front leg or both arms. Do that a few more times. You can look slightly up as you inhale, getting more into the chest if you like. Or if you look straight ahead, it will keep it more in the lower back. And even the chin in, Jalandhara Bandha. So feel the difference. See which one you prefer today. Let's just do one more and stay here if that's comfortable. Maybe palms together, classical warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Now try not to let the belly hang out. So mine will tend to do that because of my mobility in my lower back. So try to tuck the lower belly in. You can do that as you breathe. So inhale, expand through the chest and the belly, and then exhale, draw the belly in and see how the lower back can get longer as you exhale. Exhale, drawing the belly in from the pelvic floor up to the belly button. Focus your mind on that, like you're zipping up a pair of jeans. Inhale, expand from the chest to the belly. Staying there 4 to 6 breaths, depending on your breath pattern. We're going to go to the other side. Exhale, release those hands down and stepping back if you can. Bringing the other foot forward, right foot or other side. Inhale, arms coming up in the front, palms facing forward, chin in, Jalandhara, that chin lock. Exhale, release. Let's feel the difference between that. And if you look up, we'll get more into the upper back, neck, and shoulders. It's a little bit different. The bigger arch. And it might compress the lower back. So just be mindful of that if you have lower back pain, that choice. So I'm going to keep my chin in to keep the focus more on the lower back. Keep the energy more contained. With that chin lock, said that the energy keeps flowing down more. A little bit colder today, so this pose is also warming us up here on the Pacific Northwest region. Doing that 4 to 6 times, depending on your breath pattern. It's also starting to warm up the legs, feet, maybe staying in the pose, palms together. Again, the chin can be in, you can be looking straight ahead or slightly down. Classically looking straight ahead. Virabhadrasana said his third eye connected with Lord Shiva. Straight ahead, third eye to third eye. This is a power pose. This is strength, brings warmth into the system, gives us courage, uplifts us. As you exhale, drawing the belly in, feel the lower back lengthen as you draw the belly in from the pelvic floor up. Inhale, chest to belly. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Last time. And release. Stepping back. All right, counter pose. So we're going to do a simple counter pose. Make sure my leg is up. Yeah, okay. So counter pose with your hands on the back of a chair, stepping back. Now your hands can also be on a bench if you prefer. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, straighten. You can also hold a countertop. Just stretching the lower back out. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. If this is not comfortable for your arms or your hands, you can bring your hands lower, of course, onto the seat of the chair. So you exhale and bend the knees. Just feel how that stretches the lower back. And finishing up. All right, so we're going to bring the left foot forward, right foot back. I invite you, if you've got any lower back pain, just bring whatever foot forward that feels easiest for you. And hands to the seat of the chair. So we're just going to start with this. So that back foot parallel to the front. Inhale here and exhale. You're going to bring your forehead down to comfort. Now you might bend the front knee too. That back foot might be turned out more. I'm going to try to keep mine nice and parallel to stretch my back leg as well. So inhale up, exhale forward. I'm going to try to keep both legs straight. So this is a leg stretch, Parshva Uttanasana, one side for a bend. I'm really focusing on stretching that front leg. Now, also, my left leg is stretching, my right lower back is also getting a stretch. You might feel that into the hip and lower back. Now you could have some blocks that you would bring your head to if you can't come down as far, or you can bend the front knee. And then when you stay in the position, you could stay like this with your arms straight, or you could bend your arms and even take your hands down to the ground at this point. Your head could be on blocks to make it less intense. And just stay here and breathe, stretching that front leg. And it's always interesting. Every day is so different. One day it's like, oh, this is easy. The next day, oh, this is hard. Just notice how it feels today. And we worked on this last week, bringing the hands to one side. So first the little toe side. This gets into the hip and lower back, that quadratus lumborum, that the QL that connects the hip to the lower back. Many of us, this is tight. And so I work on this in hip classes, lower back classes, just to really get in there. Your head could still be on the chair to make it less intense, or go all the way off the chair towards that little toe side. And then maybe come to the other side, the big toe side. You're going to turn that back foot out. Head can be on the chair, or you can come off the chair and stretch the groin. You can add movement, inhale, extend, exhale, forward. Move back to the center. And we're going to step back to our downward facing dog at the chair. If this works for you, again, you could have your hands on a countertop or a table to make this less intense. You're all at home, you've got lots of different props. Now, in this position, if it's comfortable, you're going to inhale, look forward. Exhale, come back. For those of you who want a bit more, you can go through an upward facing dog at the chair. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, coming back. So getting back into that back arch. Inhale, go through plank, lift away from the chair, don't collapse. Keep lifting away from the chair, lift, lift, lift away from the chair. Bring the hips through, tucking the tail under, lift away from the chair so your shoulders are back. Exhale, coming back. I like to hold the sides of the chair, but you can do it however you like. If you have wider shoulders, you might find a bench works better, or an ottoman, or a coffee table actually can be really nice for this one. We've got a nice low coffee table. And this is one you can do anytime during the day. A pose all on its own. These forward bends the same. You can do them anytime during the day to decompress the spine from stenosis or degenerative disc disease. Both of those conditions compress the lower back. And this one is just stretching the front of the hips. And then stretching the lower back. You can bend the knees as you go back. Get even more of a stretch through the lower back. And just finishing up. And just staying in that chair, downward facing dog. I'm just going to move my mat a little bit. Okay, there we go. When you're ready, you're going to bring your other foot forward. So for me, it was my right. I'm not sure what you chose. I'm making my feet parallel. That back foot can turn out, but we're using the chair for stability. So you might be able to get a calf stretch at the same time. So inhale, the arms are straight. My hands are on the chair. Exhale, I'm coming forward, maybe bending that front knee. I'm stretching the left side of my lower back and my right leg, especially if I can keep it straight. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, keep that length as you come forward. Constricting the throat as you inhale and exhale, especially exhale. And again, you can always bend that front knee as you come forward. You can use blocks to bring your forehead to. When you feel complete, you can stay here and breathe. You could bring your hands down beside your foot. You could have your hands on blocks. Having the chair helps you just extend your back a little longer. And then coming to that little toe side of the front foot, your head can still be on the chair or go away from the chair and twist even more, getting into that back hip and lower back, the QL. You might even feel it into the rib cage. Then going to the big toe side of the foot, if that works, turning the back foot out, head on the chair or away from the chair, stretching the groin into the inside of the knee. It's good for the hips, the legs. You guys hear me okay? Okay. Barbara, I see you are not quite with us. You're okay? Okay. When you're ready, coming back to the center. And then coming back to a downward facing dog. You can stay here if you like, you can bend the knees, or if you like, inhale through a plank using the chair, coming to an upward facing dog. Exhale, coming back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. keep this going. When you're ready, stepping forward. Just stay in a chair, Uttanasana, head on the chair, hands down or away from the chair. You can use the chair or not. Hands can be beside the feet, they can be on blocks. I like to put my hands on my calves, get to lock in. And if you have one leg longer than the other, you can bring that leg back. And coming up. All right, find your samastiti. We started with a lot of activation and then 4 bends. Just notice how you're feeling in your lower back. All right. So we're going to keep going a little bit more in this direction, and then I'm going to work more with lateral work. So if you have a chair or a bench, you're going to bring, we haven't done these in a while, you're going to bring your left foot up on that chair or bench like this. And if you're using a chair, have it against a wall, or you could use a couch. Bench is a little better. An ottoman would be okay too. Okay, so just find that place. You're all getting your chairs. All right. And then my back foot, you can have it turned out like a warrior one, or if possible, make it parallel to the front and it will be a bit more intense. So now I'm working on getting into the front of the hip, the psoas, which is, we haven't done this in the hip class. This is also really important for lower backs, and we warmed it up through warrior. So inhale, finding your lunge. You can just do this with the foot forward in a lunge also if you don't have a bench. Inhale here, exhale, you're going to bend the back knee. Now I'm holding the back of the chair. You could hold the sides of the chair. Yeah, that's right. Inhale, extend the back leg. Just looking at you guys, making sure you're okay. Exhale, bend that back knee and stretch the front of the back hips. So I've got my left foot forward, my right thigh is getting a big stretch into the psoas. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Now you can take it a bit deeper by bringing your hands down to the side of the chair, but I prefer the hands back the chair. You can also have the hands at the wall if you've got a wall available. And just feel that deep stretch into the front of the hip. Now let's just stretch that front leg, if you can, a little bit or a lot. The hands on the seat of the chair, or they could be on the back of the chair. And see if you can stretch that front leg a little bit or a lot. If you like, you can move it. Inhale forward in your lunge, exhale back. Your choice on that. Or just stay here if it's comfortable. Inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, forward bend. If you like, inhale, point the toes. Exhale, flex the toes towards the nose. And a little bit of flossing in there. Picking whatever variation of this works for your body. So the preparation for this set was what we did earlier with warrior and one-sided forward bend. All right, and then coming out, just when you come out of it, be careful, bring one foot down, gradually slide your leg back, maybe lift it with your hand, bring it back, just be a little careful. Coming in and out of that, we're gonna do the other side. Having my mat turn today. Okay, so just remember which side you were on. For me, it's gonna be my right foot forward. I'm holding the back of the chair, my back foot parallel to the front. Inhale here, exhale, bending the back knee, dropping that hip. Inhale, extending. Exhale, bending. Hold on to the wall if you prefer. That back foot can be turned out if it's not comfortable. And you can even add on arms if you want to take it up a notch. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, release. These are all variations. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. There you go. A lot of you adding the arms on. Nice. It's nice to see you all in your cameras. Connect with you a little bit more. Doing that 6 to 8 times. Getting into the front of the hip, that back leg. Now we're going to stretch the front leg. So your hands could be on the back of the chair. They could even be on the wall as you inhale forward and exhale back. If you're still feeling tight, do this. And you don't have to straighten that front leg all the way. If you're able to straighten the front leg, you can stay in the position. Maybe bring your hands down to the seat of the chair and take it a little deeper now. Inhale, lift the chest, maybe point the toes. Exhale, flex the toes towards the nose, coming forward. Getting deeply into that leg stretch. This is all stuff you can do at a park bench outside. This is actually where I invented this series, was at a park bench. If you're running or other sports outside, you can do a yoga break outside. Especially this time of year when it starts getting a bit colder. It's really nice to remember to get outside and still do activities when you're ready coming out of this by straightening your back and you're lifting your leg off. And just as a counter pose, let's just do a chair downward facing dog. If you prefer, you can do a full downward facing dog at the mat at this time. I'm going to show that. You can do it at the chair or using the mat. I like to work one leg at a time to get into the calves a bit more. This pose can also help us oxygenate the top third of the lungs, which doesn't have much blood flow in it. By doing this pose, you get a bit more blood into that top section of the lungs, and it can actually increase your ability to oxygenate the blood, which is something I recently learned. These inversion poses with the head lower than the heart. And when you're ready, whatever position you've chosen, coming forward into your forward bend. Again, if you have one leg longer than the other, you can bring it back to even out that stretch for your hips and your lower back. You're ready, coming up. And finding your samastiti, you should feel perhaps an inch taller. You might actually be a little bit taller because you've decompressed your spine through those forward bends. And you've done a lot of back arches to create mobility and warmth. Just feeling those legs. Hopefully you're feeling both feet fairly evenly at this point. We're going to start moving into our side bends now. So decided to warm us up more with back arches because it's a bit colder today. Hopefully you're nice and warm. So we're going to move into our side bends. Inhale, arms coming up at the sides. And exhale, you're going to come to your left. You can leave your hands together, or you can bring the lower arm down, and you might be able to go a little bit deeper and stick that opposite hip out, that right hip out. Feel that stretch, perhaps again into that QL part. The nexus between the lower back and the hips. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Sticking the hip out. And I find many people have problems in this part of their lower back. Inhale, center, exhale, side. And if they just do this, a few times a week, they can keep out of a lot of problems like back spasms, persistent pain. This pendulum movement back and forth is also very settling for the nervous system. Yoga, we call it samana. Samana vayu. It's a pendulum back and forth at the gut. Physiologically, that's what happens with our small intestine as we absorb the nutrients from food. This pendulum movement back and forth. So we're emulating that with our bodies now. The gut is one of the brains, one of the nexus points of the nervous system. Another one in the heart, another one in the head. These 3 seats of prana, the yogis say. Just creating some nice flow back and forth, pendulating between opposites, left and right, going through the center. And exhale, hands at the heart, finding that center. Just for a moment. That samastiti. A balance between opposites. And go more deeply into one side now. So crossing the left foot over the right. Or if you like, you can do your easier side first, whatever that is for you if you have pain today in your back. So I'd recommend that if you have pain, and just stretching to that same time side that the foot is crossed on. So I've got my left over my right, mirroring for you, that is. Body to the left. And then the arms, you can make it more intense by adding the arms like this. You can stretch that top wrist, or hold opposite elbows. If it's too much, keep it flowing. If this feels too much in your lower back, keep it flowing as we did earlier. Or if you want to take it even further, you can add the wall. Get into that QL. If it's feeling a little bit grippy or like it might spasm, just keep it flowing rather than staying. So the staying is pretty intense. It's a lot of stiram, strength. We're going to do the other side. So just be mindful not to overdo this pose. It can be too intense. So the back and forth would be something like this. Inhale here, exhale side, crossing your right leg over your left. Palms together, holding that top wrist, holding the elbows, using the wall as I'm showing, sticking your hip out. And do you feel a stretch into the hip and lower back? Might feel a little sticky. This part gets compressed by sitting. How often do we go into this shape in our lives, this side shape? Not very much. So the more sitting you do in your life, the more side stretching you want to do. When you're ready, coming out. It's a little harder to have deep breaths in that pose. That's normal just because you're compressing your ribs. To the center again, you might feel even taller now, having stretched the sides of the ribs. So let's take the side bend bigger now. So we're going to bring our feet apart. And I'm going to show with the chair. You don't have to use the chair. I'm going to show with and without. So I'll be flipping the chair from one side to the other. I'm going to start with the chair on your left foot turned out. Heel to heel alignment. That back foot classically is at 90 degrees, or you can turn it in if you've got some knee issues where it feels better. Now, in terms of using the chair, you can bring your shin right to the seat of the chair for a lot of support if you want to do that. Okay, so just thought I'd show this variation today. You can do it without the chair as well. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, coming into your Parshvakonasana. So the hand can be at the thigh, or it can be on the chair, which might actually intensify it. Inhale, extend that top arm, and it might go to the wall if you've got a wall there. Exhale, hand to the sky. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, we're going to release those arms down. So I actually find using the chair, I get more deeply into this pose, which seems ironic, but there you go. So you might want to give it a shot. Learned this from my Iyengar yoga teacher many years ago. Inhale here, exhale, bend that knee, the shin coming to the seat of the chair, hand coming down. The hand could be at blocks. You might bend that elbow. Inhale, extend that top arm. I'm extending my lower hand to the back of the chair. I'm extending my fingertips to the wall. Inhale, hand coming to the sky, and inhale, coming up. Exhale, arms coming down. Third time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend that left knee, come to your side bend. Hand coming to the chair. Inhale, extend that top arm. Exhale, bring it to the sky. Inhale, straightening the legs. Exhale, arms coming down. Fourth time, it's going to be our last time, and then we're going to stay. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, Parshvakonasana. Inhale, extend the angle. Extended angle pose, sometimes called. Now, you can just stay here, or exhale, bend the elbow, turn the head. Inhale, extend, or you can just stay here. So see which feels better for you today. You can just stay. You've got support of chairs and walls. You might be able to stay or keep it bending. Exhale, bend, inhale, extend. When you're ready, coming up as you inhale, exhale, release. On the other side, I'm just going to flip my chair to the other side. If you've got this capacity where you are, you can also do that. All right, so that's a pretty big stretch. And I try not to do it till the end of the class, especially when it's colder. I start adjusting my teaching to the temperature. The feet nice and wide, at least one leg width apart, if that works, or whatever's comfortable. Turning out that right leg, and maybe bringing the right shin to the seat of the chair, heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. So just finding those alignment points before we start flowing, straightening the legs. Inhale, arms coming up, shoulder height, palms down. Exhale, bending that knee, might go to the seat of the chair. The hand coming to the seat of the chair, the other hand to the sky. Inhale, extending that left arm along your ear, stretching the left side of the body. Exhale, hand to the sky. Inhale, coming up through your warrior two and then to straight legs. Exhale, hands down. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, lengthen the arm, extend that angle. Exhale, hand to the sky. Inhale, through warrior two and up, straight legs. Exhale, arms down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hand sky. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, starting position. Last time, and then we'll stay. When we stay, you can keep it moving if you prefer. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side. Side ankle pose. Parsvakonasana. Inhale, extend that ankle. Now stay here, or if you like, if it's too intense, keep it moving up and down, or exhale, bend the elbow, turn the head, look down. Inhale, extend. You can also bring that hand inside the thigh if you want to go deeper still. Classically, it's on the other side of the thigh, but I prefer inside because you get a hip opener. So pick your medicine. Lengthen that exhale. Getting ready. Coming out of the pose. And inhale fairly lazily. Exhale, feet center. Stepping to your samastiti. All right, I'm going to put the chair aside now. We're going to transition to the floor. But before we do that, we're going to do Prasarita Pada Uttanasana, spread foot at forward bend with some hip movement. We haven't done that this term. And I am getting warm. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to feel the heat of the practice, which is about right at this point in the practice. All right. So this is going to all be flowing with some movement of the hips. Inhale, arms coming up in the front. Exhale, twist to your left and come down, bend the left knee. Inhale, arms in line with the ears coming up. Exhale, twist to the other side, bend the knee, come down. Inhale, arms in line with the ears coming up. And back to the center. Exhale, forward bend center. You can bend those knees as well. Just notice how the bent knees gets a bit more into the lower back. Inhale, arms in line with the ears coming up. Exhale, twist to your left, come down. Now the leg can be straight. I like to bend it to work the hip more. And the feet, inhale. Exhale, other side. Inhale, up and center. Exhale, forward bend center. Inhale, coming up. Round 3, exhale, left. Inhale, up. Exhale, other side and down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, center. Inhale, up. Round 4, exhale, left. So last time, inhale, up. Exhale, other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Inhale, up. Exhale, release the hands down. And do one more variation of this. Going to come forward, halfway forward, arms at the sides. Shoulder height, you might want to watch first. Inhale here, exhale. You're going to bend that left knee, bring the hands down and stretch that groin of the right side. Inhale, center. It's also strengthening the lower back. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. You can look up slightly on that inhale if you like. Exhale, tuck the chin down. Inhale, center. Exhale, it's a variation of Restorative Uttanasana, working with the hips, balancing the hips, strengthening the lower back. And when you've had enough, just stay in the center and breathe. You might be feeling your lower back, having worked those muscles. So in this position, your hands can be straight ahead, or if you can, hands coming towards the center. You can hold on to the big toes. You could do this with hands on blocks, with the arms just straight underneath you, with the hands on a chair even you could do. Otherwise, coming forward, holding the big toes perhaps, holding the heels perhaps, bending the knees as you exhale, inhale, straighten. When you're ready, turning to your left foot, swiveling to a lunge, and coming back, child's pose. Coming up to table. Now, if this doesn't work for your wrists, you can fold your mat over, line up your knuckles with that folded mat. You can use blocks under your hands. That can also help a lot with wrist issues. Or you can make this. Okay, so I hope one of these will work. If none of these work, do this with your hands on the seat of a chair, standing. Inhale, extend your left leg back. and arch your spine. Exhale, draw your knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. And then let's go to the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Do this 3 more times. And coming to child's pose, resting here. This is not working for your knees or for your belly, just lying your back and bring your knees to your chest or happy baby pose. Hip variation is with the knees apart, like that's more into the groin, a little less lower back. Hands on your body, see which one you prefer this morning. When you're ready, lying on your back. Just noticing how you feel in your lower back, having done all that work. Your legs bent, your feet wide, angle the knees in or knees over the ankles. Okay, we're going to stretch those legs long, Tadaka Mudra. Sutasana, supine resting pose. Just notice how you feel in your hips. Is one hip, does it feel lower than the other or higher, or you feel any twists or feel any rotation in your hips? Just notice if you can feel any of those things as you lie there. Or does it feel quite even? When you're ready, you're going to exhale, bring your left knee into your chest. Now you could do this with your other leg bent. It feels better for you. Inhale, extend that leg, bring the arms up overhead. Now, arms overhead, you might have a bolster or a big pillow behind you, or you could just bend your elbows like this. Exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Inhale, bring your arms to your place. Exhale. Now, can you drag that left leg into your chest, drag it in? So you're using your core strength to move the leg. And then inhale, moving slowly back out, so you're using that core strength. Exhale, other side. From Tadaka Mudra to Ekapada Apanasana. Now this is our 4th time. We're going to stay here, just hugging that knee into the chest. You can hold underneath the knee if the knee is bothering you. Switching sides, inhale, extend that leg, So bend the other one, your fourth time. You're going to stay. Okay, switching sides, we're going to go into leg stretches now. So if you've got a belt, you can use a belt, scarf, or you can just hold underneath your leg. Walter, there's a belt in my yoga room, left drawer if you want one. All right, so inhale, extend the leg. Keep that hip down. Exhale, bend the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend the leg. So this is a leg stretch, which is great for the legs, for the knees, but also these leg stretches are important for the lower back. So we start with legs and feet and move into the hips and then lower back, because all these parts of the body are important to work with the lower back. Now, if you're feeling quite stretched now because we've worked a lot on leg stretches today standing, you might be ready to stay. You could even loop your belt, make a namaste position, bring your hands to your heart, and keep dropping that left hip down, that leg that's up. Drop the hip down as you stay here. I've got the other foot at the wall to help balance my hips. And just keep that working. Every time you exhale, draw that hip down. And when you're ready, the other side. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale. Try to draw that right hip down. Inhale, extend the leg nice and long. Exhale, draw the hip down. This is too much, again, you can exhale, bend, inhale, straighten. It might feel better for your knee or your lower back. So pick your medicine. Notice if one side is different than the other. You feel complete, bringing both feet into the belt, Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Hands at the heart, and hold the belt anywhere that feels comfortable for your body. And again, you can exhale, bend, inhale, straighten, or just stay here. Keep drawing those hips down to the ground, lengthening the lower back. And maybe adding a swing here as I'm going to hold the belt with my hands. Exhale, bringing my toes towards my nose, keeping my lower back on the ground. And inhale, swinging the legs away from me, pointing my toes. This is an add-on if you want. This is like a inverted Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. A lot of forward bends today. Right. So we're going to do some back arches now with forward bends in between. Put your belt aside. I think we're going to use it again today. So legs hip width apart, or could be even wider. You could put a belt on your legs to press into to work on stretching the groin if you're quite tight in the hip flexors. You could put a block between the legs to hug into if you're weak in your inner thighs. I'm going to show it without either of those. You can choose those proppings if you like. For bridge pose, Dvipadapidam. Inhale, lift the hips up. We're going to leave the hands down to focus on the lower back. Exhale, stay. Inhale, try to lift a little higher, maybe come up on the toes. And exhale, bring the heels down and roll the spine down. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lift even higher. Exhale, heels down and roll the spine down. One vertebrae at a time from upper back, middle back, lower back. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Strengthening the back. Inhale, lift the hips up, coming with the heels off the ground. Exhale, heels down and roll the spine down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Last time. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, stay. Inhale, up on the toes, lift higher. Exhale, heels down. Now you can stay here or keep that going up and down. I'm going to tuck my shoulders underneath. I'm going to have my palms up or interlock the hands underneath. You can keep going with the lifting the heels up. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, heels down. Just that. If your lower back hurts, this might not be the right pose right now, so take it easy. This is for strength. I'm taking those heels off the ground as I inhale, lift higher, exhale, heels down, draw the belly in. And when you're ready, coming down, again, that's pretty intense. So just looking after yourself, take a rest. We're going to do some windshield wipers in this position as our counter. Exhale left, inhale center. Exhale right, inhale center. We've done around 4 to 6 rounds of that, coming onto your belly. You have a wall available to put your feet on, you can do that. Or you don't have to, so I'll show it both ways. So this position, trying to find a comfortable way to do it. So for some of you, it's going to be putting a pillow under the belly or a blanket. So underneath the chest all the way to the hips, you can have a folded blanket or a pillow. For others, just flat on the mat will be good. I invite you to have one hand over the other and your forehead on the folded hands.
We're just going to start by tucking the toes under, and again, the heels could be at the wall or not. I'm going to show away from the wall so you can see me a bit better. So inhale, tucking the toes under, straighten the legs. This is also great for strengthening the knees. Straighten those legs, the knees are coming off the ground. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, release, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten, exhale, release. This is the beginning of the back arches lying on your belly. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend, release. Now, if that's feeling good, you can add on by adding a leg lift. Now, I'm going to keep the toes tucked underneath to make it a bit more strengthening. Inhale, lifting one leg up. You can keep those other toes tucked under or not. Keep the head down. Exhale, release. Inhale, other side. Exhale, release. Bend the knees, knees down. Inhale, lift one leg up. I've got the other one also straight with knee off. Exhale, release. Classically, you leave the other foot on the ground, but you don't get as high and it's not as stable for the hip. If you want to add on, you can add on a lift of the chest. You can just lift up right in this position with your hands folded, or some other position that works better for your upper body. So hands apart like this, for example, might work better for you. Try to keep that chin tucked in so you're not compressing the back of the neck. Shalabhasana, Ekapada Shalabhasana. Just focusing on the legs more than the upper body to work the lower back. Last round. And coming back to child's pose. Or come onto your back, knees to chest. In child's pose, knees can be together or apart. Apart is getting more into the groin. And you feel ready, lying onto your back. Let's again do those windshield wipers side to side. Exhale, twist, inhale, center. If you're cooling off, do add socks and sweaters. It's getting to be that time of year. And maybe staying on one side and breathing. You feel you're ready to take it a bit more deeply. Add a little movement in the pose as you inhale, pressing the hips to the side you're on, and exhale, releasing, and you'll get into those hip flexors again, the psoas. Going to the other side when you're ready. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. All right, now we're just going to do an asana with some hip movement. I'm going to add a block under my hips for this. You don't have to. This works if you have a bit more of a sway back in your lower back, which is the case for me. So I like to have the block, but you don't have to. Block or pillow, if you like, no higher than your waist, the top edge. You're going to cross your left leg over your right. You're going to bring your knees towards your chest, holding the shins or any part of your leg that you can, maybe even your feet. This is for the hips, but also the lower back. And you can just stay here. It's sort of like a Supta Gomukhasana, cow face pose. You can be doing this seated with a forward bend. You could do that as well. Just find a variation that works best for you. This gets into the piriformis, which runs into the hip again. It's outside of the hip. That, runs into the lower back. Switching sides. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. And when you feel complete, untwisting a Panasana, knees to chest, just staying here. Trying to lengthen your exhale, maybe adding a hold after exhale. And when you're ready, moving into your Shavasana, adding any layers, keep warm blanket. Putting anything you like under your back for comfort. Putting socks on if you like. Just noticing how you're feeling in your body. Your lower back is hurting with your legs straight. Do put some blocks or a pillow under your thighs, or your legs up on a chair or a couch. And also try just putting your feet at a baseboard to balance your hips. Feeling the bottoms of your feet. From your toes. Soles of your feet. Your heels. Ankles. Your calves. Your hamstrings. Your buttocks. Your lower back. Your middle back. Your upper back. The backs of your arms sinking into the ground. Your hands. Your fingers. Back up. The backs of your arms. To your shoulders. Relaxing into the ground. Your neck. From the base up to the back of the head. The weight of your head into the ground. Top of the head. Forehead. The eyes. Cheeks. Ears. Mouth. And nose. Chin. Throat. Chest. Stomach. Hips. Pelvic floor. Thighs. Knees.
shins, ankles, arches of the feet, toes, soles of the feet, rest. I invite you to stay here longer and enjoy the benefits of this relaxation, or come to a close with me. Hands at the heart. Om Shantish, Shantish, Shantihi. Namaste.